Welcome back to Soccer Cards United. It's time for episode 139 of the greatest soccer card podcast in the world. My name is Jason. That's Enzo. Hi, Enzo.
Hello, Jason.
Thursday.
Getting
to the end of the week. Almost Friday. Almost the weekend.
Another 2-week episode. 2 episodes a week.
Yeah. Somebody commented.
They're becoming. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're becoming rare. They say.
Yeah, but you know what?
We're busy. Busy guys.
We want to do two episodes. I will say this. We always want to do 2 episodes a week.
I get to Jason's house, I get to the studio, and it's 2:00. Let's get into this podcast. Mm-hmm. And then before you know it, it's 5:00 after a lot of admin.
Yeah.
And like some people, there's a lot. I could.
Okay, but let's not start the podcast on a negative note. Let's instead start the podcast on a positive note by thanking everyone who signed up for the affiliate program for soccercardsunited.com, which we announced on Monday and had a lot of interest in from the listenership.
Thank you very much.
That was a listener exclusive announcement.
Yeah, people are in. We haven't promoted it anywhere else.
So thank you.
Familiar faces in there.
Yeah. If you applied, thank you. If you have applied but you haven't heard back yet, it's just
I think
because
everyone has heard back, Jason. I think anyone that has applied through the link,
okay,
I've dealt with.
Okay,
I've dealt with you people.
Well, then in that case,
Jason, don't think I'm behind. I'm not.
I was more just kind of bigging it up a little bit.
For
the purposes of hype, as if there was a backlog. But now that illusion is completely shattered.
I cleared the backlog. I'm on the ball. That's it.
Okay. So there was some interest, but a manageable amount of interest.
Yeah, and we got some compliments on the new logo, which you could see if you were on that link.
Yeah.
We got a really, really nice email from a man from Denmark, I believe. I don't want to say names.
One of our Danish friends.
And he sent a delightful email. Did you get back to that, Jason?
I did not. We didn't
get back
how
to
respond to it.
It was very nice. And as far as free marketing advice goes, I think we're always up for that.
Yeah, and I think if we're not, we need to be.
We're not good at marketing. Although they complimented our marketing, which was very nice. We
had a nice email from a Danish marketer friend of ours.
There you go.
So if you would like to email us with your country and occupation,
do it.
And next time we could be saying, we got a lovely email from a
Spanish
Belgian physiotherapist.
Oh, wow. That.
Yeah.
Some free physiotherapy on the go.
You sound tense, boys. Have you considered starting your morning with 10 minutes of rigorous stretching?
I wouldn't want to see you stretched out.
Hard to find a room big enough.
That's what I'm saying. Do you ever see like snakes when they die and they stretch them out to show how long they were?
Yes.
That could be you.
It could be me. And that's the only appropriate comparison.
It's the only analogy.
Now, Enzo, I want to get straight into Hobby HQ.
Okay.
And I want to start off with a very funny correction. So we talked about on Monday, the who to invest in women's soccer coming up to the Women's World Cup. And first of all, it was announced that the USWNT are playing Ireland twice in April. Double header as a World Cup warm-up.
In Ireland?
I don't know where it is.
One of them in Ireland?
Could be. What's this? An email. So
an accounting email. Just to give it to the people. Let them know. That was an accounting email.
So
are your accounts in order, Jason?
Everything's in order.
I refuse to believe it.
If I was laid out like a snake,
oh my god,
it would be fine.
We're now up to date. I know I'm reading this.
Don't read the email on air.
Still have to pull some data.
Please don't read that on air.
PayPal. Sorry.
So
regards.
I
love that Shane works really late.
Oh my god.
What's wrong? It's 5 p.m. It's 10. I know we work late, but Shane is doing it. Like that's a good.
I was saying, oh my god, I'm gonna have to edit that out.
No, don't. Why? I didn't say his second name.
Okay. So in April, Ireland are playing America in a double header.
Can we go?
If it's in Ireland.
What if it's in Italy? Can we really go?
If it's in Italy, we could go as well. Yeah. Anyway, one of the most exciting players on the USWNT is a woman whose first name is Mallory. And when people submitted who they thought was good for the World Cup, I kept saying 2 Mallorys, Mallory Pugh and Mallory Swanson. And I was like, I know Mallory Pugh. She's a young striker, very prolific, very exciting. This Mallory Swanson character has catapulted out of nowhere into the consciousness. And then we got several messages.
I didn't see any of this.
Yeah.
Did she get married? Is that what this is?
She got married.
Is that it?
So Mallory Pugh, it's the same person, everyone said.
Is Mallory Swanson.
So, and I just one Google search would have
Fix it.
But because I knew who Mallory Pugh was in my head, I just never Googled Mallory Swanson. I was like, I don't even... Who could that be? How could someone have just arrived?
So she took the name of her partner.
Yeah, her husband is a baseball player.
The Swansons.
That's a
good surname.
Yeah. So,
That's funny.
that's what
But
happened.
do our cards say...
No, they all say Pugh.
But in future, could they say Swanson?
Yes, because she's going now officially as Mallory Swanson. And I was thinking that this is an interesting... Because sometimes we have conversations about this in men's soccer. So we had Silas...
in men... Waggy, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Is that terrible?
I was going to read it out in full just as a sign.
Do it.
But, Waman Gituka.
Okay, I was way off. But that's interesting. In the men's game, that tends to happen because of some craziness has gone on.
Yes.
In the women's game, it seems like, you just get married and
It's going to come up more often.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, it's interesting.
So
That's
like
the rookie.
Yeah, is it like? I wonder, will there
You're
be
probably unmarried when you're a rookie in most cases.
In most cases.
If you did the stats of it.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen a lot where the rookie card will have a different.
Yeah, and obviously not everyone takes their
absolutely
name.
no. Some people double barrel it.
Yeah.
Would you double barrel it?
Would I double barrel if I got married? Would I double barrel my own name?
With the name of your partner?
No.
How would you feel if they double barreled it?
I would feel fine.
You'd feel fine.
I'd feel fine.
You'd feel great. But is that not weird? I'd
feel great.
You wouldn't feel great.
I'd feel fine. I'd say that's fine.
Would you remove the Flynn name and take the other name?
No, unless there was a lot of money involved.
You could be paid off.
There's always a deal to be struck.
Oh my god.
Everyone has a number.
Everyone
has a number. And when someone says they don't have a number, they just mean their number's a little bit higher than you've been talking about. So I wonder, will say from Mallory Swanson, will her rookie obviously be the most popular card going forward? I think it's like an Obsidian, or maybe even...
Was the Obsidian, there was women's cards in Obsidian, or did they make a women's Obsidian?
It was women's cards in Obsidian.
Okay, cool.
But then I wonder, will the second most popular card, like almost like a jersey number thing, people put on eBay, first card on their married name?
Oh my god, I hope not. I hope that's not a thing.
Are people so obsessed with the idea of marriage that they'd be like, yes?
I don't think so. I don't think so, Jason.
Anyways, that's just something I wanted to...
The most exciting part about all of that was that the US women's national team are playing Ireland at some point, maybe in Ireland.
In a doubleheader in April, yeah.
Great. And have they just not released the venue, or you just haven't Googled it?
I saw it on the statement, but it didn't say where. Maybe you can find it, because I couldn't find it. I mean, find would be a strong word for what I tried to do.
Oh my god.
I couldn't see it, and I didn't devote any time to it.
In friendlies.
In friendlies, yeah.
Okay,
we're closing in. Then I was wondering, has Vinny Jr. done that now? Because Vinny Jr. goes by Vinny Jr. now professionally.
Ireland will be in the States.
Right, and then
Ireland will come to the United States for a 10-day camp. They will face the USMNT on April 8th in Austin, Texas, and then on April 11th in St. Louis. So they're just going to play America twice in 3 days in America.
Fantastic.
April 8th, April 11th. We're not going to be there, Jason.
Not going to be there, but fun nonetheless.
They could have played against the Canadian women's team, maybe. Why would they play the same team twice in 3 days? What's that?
I don't know.
Sure, look, it's nice.
I don't know.
It's nice.
Does Vinny Jr.'s card say Vinny Jr. now? Or do they still say Vinicius? Oh, look at that. They say Vinny. They used to say Vinicius.
Vinny Jr. is a much easier name for searching.
That's why he changed it.
Crazy.
He wanted that.
Is that his Champions League winning goal against Liverpool? What is that?
Champions League Young Player of the Season. That's from 2021.
Okay. Name changes are interesting.
Would you
ever change your name?
Yes. When I finish this podcast, I'll change my name.
Like, you mean this podcast today?
When Soccer United's run is over, I'll change my name. I'll start a new podcast under a new name.
Oh my god!
You know?
I know.
It'll be like whatever. I don't know.
You don't know.
Whatever the category is. It'll say like with Tom Table.
Tom Table.
Yeah.
Your table podcast.
Yeah. Tables, hosted by Tom Table.
Tables, Table. Oh.
Enzo.
Yeah.
I was looking at Man City there in the Champions League.
And why were you doing that?
They were playing RB Leipzig.
This filter function does not work on our website.
Oh my god. Podcast.
I'm sorry.
Did you see the Man City game?
I actually did. Did
Okay.
you?
Yes.
Oh,
And they were not good.
not great.
No.
Leipzig could have won that game.
Yes. And I tell you what, no effect was Erling Haaland. And I was just curious to see if anyone else had noticed this. So I asked on Twitter and Instagram, over the last few months, have Erling Haaland's cards become more desirable or less desirable? On Twitter, 70% of people said they become less desirable. On Instagram, 66% of people said they become less desirable. So Haaland is scoring goals for Manchester City, but they don't seem to be particularly important goals, and the team aren't doing particularly well, and nobody seems to care.
Yeah.
Discuss.
I would say there's this really weird thing when a player goes to the Premier League, whether they do well or bad. Like, the Premier League is like... The transfer to the Premier League is like the gold rush.
Mm-hmm.
Actually being in the Premier League is like the graveyard.
Right.
But I think this is kind of one of those weird cases where Man City were such a weird team prior to... Like, Haaland didn't fit it, really. I don't know. I think Julian Alvarez starting up front for them would probably...
Be better.
But at the same time, he's scoring goals for fun. I think the Champions League is when we're going to see him shine. And I know that's what you're saying, that we've just seen him not shine in the Champions League.
Yeah.
They need to be the inferior team or the even team in the Champions League, and we'll see some big stuff out of him. So they need to creep by Leipzig and then hopefully come up against the likes of Real Madrid or whoever in the Champions League. That's what I would say.
Okay. Panenka contributed and said probably just stayed the same. Nothing really happened to him when he was scoring hat tricks back earlier in the season, did it? The hobby doesn't care about performances generally.
They do.
They do,
well,
but
not huge.
Obviously with Haaland, a lot of it's baked in. Nobody is... The thing is that there was no room for anyone to be impressed with Haaland.
True.
Because everyone assumed the level of the Bundesliga was the same as the level of the Premier League. So what should have been, oh my god, he's continued his form for Borussia Dortmund, for Man City. You know, but it's like someone scores when he was younger, he's scoring a hat trick against Bochum in the Bundesliga. Everyone's like, oh my god, he's scoring a hat trick. And he does against Bournemouth. Everyone's like, the same. It's the same.
No difference.
Yeah.
Fair.
So I don't know what to do with Haaland. It seems as if it seems like we used to talk about him. We used to talk about him every week when he wasn't scoring all the time for the team who have been the best team in England for the last 10 years. We should be talking about him more now, but we don't.
That he's not scoring.
No, that he is scoring. He scored 26 goals or whatever for Man City this season.
No, I know.
We should be talking about him more.
It's funny, like, people kind of... If you just look at, like, the Premier League stats and you look at the top two goal scorers, there's such a gap between him and Harry Kane.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's kind of... It'll take time, I think. He's building a legacy.
Yeah.
But he needs to... They need to win the league. The fact that Arsenal are winning the league doesn't help.
Yeah. I think as well when you look at, like, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, they seem to be scoring big... Even Harry Kane. Seem to be scoring big goals for their team. Haaland's goals have kind of just... They've kind of been scored in a vacuum. Like, who knows?
Yeah, what did they win?
How many of his goals could you remember or remember what result happened because of his goal? You know, it's a lot of like stat padding going on. It feels like, but obviously it's not.
Yeah, no, I get you. It's just weird.
It's just weird. It's a weird situation. We're talking.
Everyone's bubbling about Rashford.
Yeah. Like when Gonzalo Ramos had that amazing performance against Switzerland in the World Cup for Portugal. And his rookie cards had like a 2-day moment. If Haaland had done that, say Norway got to the World Cup and we're in a group with Switzerland and he scored a hat-trick against them or whatever, I feel like nobody would have cared.
Yeah, it was Switzerland.
It's a Switzerland, it's Haaland, we're expecting it.
It's all fine. Everything's normal. So now it just seems like it's going to be a long, long time before Haaland goes anywhere from where he is. So hold on to those cards, I guess is what I'm saying. Right, some nice legal drama in the hobby, and I'm not going to go through every single bit of it, but I am going to recommend that you go and follow Paul Lesko. Okay.
Lesko, Lesko, on Twitter, because he's doing a great rundown, kind of live commentary, as he usually does, with this great lawsuit between Alt. Alt is this platform that are like fractionalization platform. They buy big cards, and then you can invest in the piece of the card. But Alt are suing Beckett. Beckett. BGS, you may know them as. So, just to quickly run through it. Allegedly, it appears that Alt purchased the Steph Curry rookie card, a BGS 9.5, for $168,000, and only did so because it was a BGS 9.5. That's obviously why they spent so much money. It's gem mint. And of course, they assumed because it was a 9.5 grade that it was authentic and that it's not altered and trimmed. It purchased the card in October 2020 for $168,000. In August 2022, the card was allegedly now worth $350,000. Alt then enlisted PSA to grade the card because they wanted to cross over from BGS to PSA, because PSA is the leading sports trading grader and has a slightly better reputation than BGS. However, when they did that, PSA determined the card was altered because it was noticeably short and had been trimmed from bottom to top. BGS then said, yeah, that does look trimmed.
That does look trimmed. Come to think of it.
So because of this, Alt wants the current value of the card from BGS, as it would not have bought the card unless BGS graded at 9.5, and is therefore suing BGS for a, quote, negligent misrepresentation of the card. So they're saying it should be worth $350,000. We made a good investment.
Yeah. You
sold us a messed up card. We want you to pay us the $350, which means we'll essentially double our money. And so it's been going on. And then, let's see. There's an update today. That's why it came up. Right. So we have an update in the Alt platform v Beckett, as Beckett has filed a motion to blow up the case, says Paul Lesko.
Blow up the case.
And although the motion could be clear, it appears that Beckett argues not everyone can rely on the grades it gives cards. So
Beckett's defense is you can't trust us.
Yeah.
Beckett's defense over this 350,000 is that they're going to throw their entire organization under the bus.
Can I say, to call out something we've been talking about a long time for this podcast, Beckett's defense is buy the card, not the grade.
Wow.
Beckett's defense is anyone in trading cards knows that. No one ever said buy the grade, not the card.
But that's crazy.
So Beckett argues that one, Alt did not exist until 2022, so it's the wrong party to be here. Basically, this is all
nothing to do with Alt.
It's nothing to do with Alt. Alt is a baby, and this took place before. And two, that the limited group exception to Texas standards, blah blah blah. I don't know what that is. Right. So past the legal gobbledygook, what's this motion about? The card was graded in 2016. It was bought in 2020, and Alt was created in 2022. So Beckett argues that Alt did not exist when the card was bought, so it can't have a claim against Beckett as a potential buyer of the card. Plus, it wasn't around in 2016, so Beckett couldn't make any alleged misrepresentations to it then.
Or they couldn't misrepresent it to Alt because they didn't exist.
They didn't exist.
That's clever.
So basically, then Beckett are saying that most collectors grade. So Paul goes on to add, most collectors grade their cards to sell to third parties, but if those third parties have no recourse, then why would grading matter? Basically, Beckett are arguing that if you buy a card that was graded before you were born, the grade does not apply.
Which is ridiculous.
Which makes no sense. So how bad are things at Beckett that they're not settling this case out of court?
Oh no, Beckett is not. Like, they are one of the great falls from grace in the hobby, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see.
Beckett's options are, well, as Paul puts it here, fuck them kids. It can either argue fuck them kids, or if that doesn't work, they're going to have to press the big red button and say that grading doesn't matter.
As a grading company.
As a grading company. But like, are Beckett... Surely if you're a Beckett, right, your choice is between... You can either settle or you can admit that your whole business and the business of your entire industry...
Is a farce.
And
it's also the fact that they tried to cross over to PSA and then PSA said this is clearly trimmed. You've just given PSA even more...
Yeah.
More
and then it'll come back to you and you've gone, yeah, it is.
Oh, that is, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did we not mention that in the 9.5?
Crazy.
Little poll here. Paul asks, do you think grading companies should be able to avoid any type of litigation whatsoever when the litigation is brought by people, companies that were born created after the card was originally graded? Unsurprisingly, everyone says, no, that's a ridiculous argument.
It's crazy. That is a crazy argument. Like...
Because if you see a PSA 10, for instance, let's imagine it wasn't Beckett, because I feel like Beckett, you can always go, it's Beckett, you know. But if it's a PSA 10, you buy the card, it's PSA 10, and then if it turns out that it's not authentic or it's been altered or whatever, should you be able to go back and say to PSA, you've damaged me personally?
Yeah. Because PSA's job is to take a card and authenticate it. That's what they're liable for that authentication, regardless of who buys it when they buy it.
Yeah. Interesting stuff.
But it's a weird one because I think in the past people have remedied it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think this shows the most interesting part about this is that Beckett doesn't have the 350 to cover.
Yeah.
Or at least they don't have. I mean, they obviously have 350, I'm sure.
Or that they don't want to. They're worried that this is a wider problem.
Yeah, they're like, oh, remember back in the day when Jimmy was taking a few backhands?
If we admit liability here,
it's going to open a can of worms.
It's going to open a can of worms. We could, in theory, we could afford to pay out on this case.
But if it's at the president for everything else, then Beckett's in the bin.
Yeah. So they're arguing that Alt has no right to sue them for this because Alt is just a new creation.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we're not. This is all happening in the state of Texas, and not only are we not lawyers, we're not Texan lawyers.
True, but that's crazy.
Paul Lesko's going to keep us updated.
Thank God.
And I recommend going and following him.
Saying, I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah.
Be nice to live a life with no liabilities.
Oh, hang on. Steve Aoki tweet. We just mentioned a Steve Aoki tweet.
What did he do?
Someone just tagged us in this watch the breaks tweet. My goodness, how did nobody else do this already? Steve Aoki about to make a fortune.
Introducing audio media grading. The world's first music grading company. I've partnered together with the folks from CAS Grading to create new business where you can grade your vinyl, cassette, CDs, and 8-track to classify and log your audio media. A tool for music collectors and audio files. I don't know what that's. I'm not losing as I'm thinking of this. I'm like having a stroke. A tool. You'll now finally be able to see how your content grades in comparison to other graded pieces. Jason's fuming. No, that's fine. I don't hate it.
That's the same as video game grading.
It's fine.
It's just a physical. It's a way to grade memorabilia.
It's fine.
Yeah. Can I say this?
That's fine. I don't hate that.
No, that's fine. But he's looking at this and he's going, Aoki's Card House. When he started that, we should have known. He's saying, I see all these sports card things. My niche is music.
Oh, I'd be so happy if he just moved over to music.
Head over to music.
That's fine. You do that.
I wonder here's as well. I'm sure he'll explain it at some point. He's grading the vinyl, cassette, CDs, and if you grade like Call of Duty Modern Warfare or something, you're grading the box, aren't you? You're not grading the disc. Is he saying you're going to grade
the CD itself?
The CD itself.
Don't know.
The cassette itself.
Maybe. I mean, the cassette itself would look cooler, but maybe sealed vinyls and stuff. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see what he does.
Is there anything this guy can't do?
No, but what if a new company showed up and bought a Steve Aoki, his first ever mix or whatever, I don't know, CD, cassette, I don't know how long he's been around.
Yeah.
And then it turns out to be unauthentic down the line. Do you think he would settle?
I think he would, yeah. Steve Aoki would write a big fat check.
Because he knows his brand matters.
Yeah. He's not worried about opening a can of worms. This is an isolated incident, he says. Right.
That's crazy.
So, that's pretty crazy. Steve Aoki getting into the grading game. Could Steve Aoki potentially acquire Beckett?
Steve Aoki, he would not. His brand is too squeaky clean to be putting Beckett on the books. But all due respect to Beckett. I'm seeing here an NFT, Jamal Musiala, sold for $1,000, Jason. But this is like it's top series 3. What's going on here? This is EPL token. Less than an hour between listing and sale. So maybe it's a bit dodgy.
Oh, I see it here.
It's like a card, but it's also not a card. It's a highlight.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what this is. I understand NFTs. I just don't know what this is.
They've been doing these Bundesliga highlights for a while.
Oh, sorry. Wait. I guess I'll just leave this on. My biggest takeaway from that is that was a great goal by Musiala.
That was a great goal by Musiala.
Really good player.
He's a good player.
That's my take. Sorry, Jay.
He's a good player.
He's a good player. Here's Castro at Barcelona's funeral, he says, and the photos in all black, Jason.
Ah.
Very good.
Funny stuff.
Funny stuff. I could have went to that game.
And what happened?
I was prepping that game. My brother wanted to go to the Man United game. He's never been.
Yeah.
And we were getting ready, and it was that classic thing of, but what if the tie is done in the first leg?
It turned out.
And we couldn't
be so far from the truth.
I know, but we couldn't decide because we're like, tickets weren't that expensive. And we're like, Jesus. And we were kind of thinking, what if Barca just run riot? And then it's a nothing game. You know, and obviously once the first leg was over, the prices changed.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go. Right. Where are we? Oh, just on your football week with the we already talked about Man City. Also we had on Tuesday we had Liverpool getting trounced at Anfield under the lights at Anfield for another big European night, getting trounced by Real Madrid.
That was shocking.
It started off so well for the hobby. We had goals from Darwin Nunez. We had a goal from Mo Salah?
Yeah, Mo Salah. Remember he dropped the ball and he kicked it.
Oh, he dropped the ball and kicked it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's 2 goalkeepers in 2 games that Salah's mugged off.
Yeah.
And then Vinny Jr. stepped up.
Mr. Vinny. That was a great goal.
2 goals. 2 fantastic goals to tie it.
Well, the first goal was good. The second goal was bounced off him.
Still.
Fantastic. You're counting that as a fantastic goal.
Maybe I'll count it as a fantastic first half performance from Vinny.
There you go. He tracked down that ball. He didn't let it go. That Eder Militao goal was crazy. That set piece. Beautiful.
Yeah. I would not have had my money on Eder Militao to be on the score sheet in that game. But there you go. And then Karim Benzema, who I feel like we haven't heard from a little while.
He kind of wasn't fit during the World Cup, and he was sad that he didn't get to go to the World Cup, and then he was sad and he wasn't playing well, so kind of justified it, and then he showed up at Anfield and he was like, easy game at Anfield, I'll pop in a couple of goals.
There was when they were 2-0 down, Modric dropped back between the centre halves to collect the ball to start the play, and I turned to a friend of mine and I said, this is when you know it's turned on.
Okay, they're in trouble.
This is like Modric doing that meme.
Leaning forward.
He leans forward. Because like in a game where Real Madrid are playing well, Modric is up centre circle and above.
Having a good time.
When you see him coming back and collecting the ball, that's him being like, right, let's do it then.
That's him tightening up his laces, bootstraps.
That's him going full clutch, Captain Croatia mode.
Yeah, and that's what he was doing last night.
And Jurgen Klopp kept clapping the Real Madrid goals, which was very frustrating to watch.
He's a bad loser.
He's a bad loser.
Very bad.
He's doing that thing where he's like, oh yeah, go, yeah. No one thinks, you're not fooling anyone. We know you want us to think that you like respect
Real Madrid,
but we know
you're
fuming. Just admit
you're fuming at everything Fabinho's doing.
Yeah.
Fabinho's decline.
Oh my God.
Unparalleled.
I did read that he has played as many minutes as a 34-year-old despite only being 29.
Interesting.
Yeah, so his legs
are gone.
His legs are just gone. That's basically it, yeah.
When you have a Brazilian midfielder who loses his legs, you need to move him on.
Yeah, because it can get ugly quite quickly. He keeps rugby tackling people.
It's not good.
It's not good. But that young fella, Stefan Bajcetic, is pretty good.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Yeah.
He was good. He almost scored a really good goal. Yeah, to be honest, it was very sad for Liverpool. Like getting 2 goals up, at home in the Champions League, there's no reason to not set the shot. But again, they're not a team that do that. So
no, they don't know how. They don't
play that way, which is why we've got so many years of great football from them.
But on the
team that do play well,
yeah, I think they play very, very well. Napoli. We had a conversation on Monday's podcast about Randall Colomboani and the Napoli boys.
Do you know what age he is?
Randall Colomboani, 22.
Just turned 24.
Wow.
I thought he was 20.
No longer an under-23s player.
There you go.
But we just I didn't even realise when we talked about Kvara and him that they were going to play each other the next day.
Well, you weren't switched on.
But on a subconscious level, maybe I was. You see, how would that happen?
You weren't, Jason. Come on.
Anyway, Colin Marnie got sent off, and Kvara missed a penalty. So maybe they're not very good after all.
They're not great. These are not good players.
But Victor Osimhen scored, assisted by the Mexican Irving Lozano, and Napoli happy out. Best team in Europe this season.
Slick Vic
Osimhen.
Lukaku, after fresh off getting abused by the chairman of Inter.
Yeah, if we thought that one hulking striker was going to come up clutch on Wednesday night, nobody's money was on Romelu Lukaku, and yet he left Erling Haaland in the dust.
Well, what a player!
What a player! He's saying there's a striker.
I didn't watch the goal, but I'd like to know if he shushed.
I don't know if he shushed
because he was called overweight before the game by the chairman.
Will I check if he shushed?
Yeah, please check.
We have to just do a quick shush count. Let's see here now.
Can't shush the chairman, surely.
Here we go.
Bring it back a little bit.
He points. He's giving a point. He's doing a point. Oh, no shush. Wait. No.
He's hugging Barella.
He's pointing at Barella.
Oh, but there has to be a shush in there. Ah. No shush. Good goal.
Very good. Very good.
Very good. Very good goal.
He beat Pepe for the header, and I think Pepe became the third oldest player ever to start a Champions League match.
God bless Pepe. What a player.
Still doing it. And no shushing. Just a point. And I could see him doing... I wanted him to do that. There.
Like this?
Yeah. Point.
But then it's almost like you're pointing at him saying shush.
Yeah. But you could also do that. No one does that too much. You gotta keep one hand free.
He might have just taken this one on. Maybe he didn't hear it. I hate Inter, but I don't hate Lukaku.
No, he seems like a nice guy. Taking a lot of stick over the years.
Yeah, a lot of the Belgian players did.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Like, I think Eddie and Hazard gets away with murder.
Yeah.
I've seen him like a pan to the bench and he was just on the bench popping about in the Liverpool game and I was like, Jesus Christ, he's still there.
He's still there.
There you go.
Anyway, tonight it's the Europa League and the Europa Conference League. So
couple of cracking games.
More excitement, yeah.
Barcelona's funeral, so says Castro.
Yeah, about to bury Barcelona. That's it.
That's it.
We'll see you on Monday.
Oh my goodness.
Have a good weekend, everyone.